cemeteries and graveyards. So, we're going to talk about cemeteries and graveyards and why a lot of people often get these two things confused. So, some people don't know whether it's a cemetery or it's a graveyard. But guess what? I'm going to break down the two today and tell you what each one means. Before I get started on that, thank you so much for joining my channel in the heart of history and looking at this video. If you do like the video, definitely consider hitting that thumbs up button. If you also love all things history or just like love intriguing things, definitely consider subscribing to my channel and also getting those alerts so you can keep up to date with the videos when I come out with them. So without further ado, we're going to get started. So a cemetery, I'm going to talk about what a cemetery is. So a cemetery is an area set apart for or containing graves, tombs, or funeral urns, especially one that is not a churchyard, burial ground, or graveyard. So that's a cemetery. Next, graveyard. So a graveyard is considered a burial ground often associated with smaller rural churches as distinct from a larger urban or public cemetery. So in a nutshell, if it has a church attached to it, I would say it's a graveyard. If it does not, I would say it's a cemetery. So in my opinion, I look at cemeteries where you have like dozens and dozens and dozens, thousands of graves. So I've seen some where it's endless. It's endless graves. You might have a couple hundred graves, a couple thousand graves. You might have 100,000 graves, depending on where you are. And a lot of times those graves don't have gravestones. Whereas you has a graveyard, you have some cemeteries. Now you can definitely have hundreds. You may even be able to have thousands because it all depends on the acreage the church is on. So if it has like 1 acre, you can only get but so much graves on that church ground. But if it's a church with 20, 30 acres, it's endless. I mean, you can get so many graves there. So that's the difference between me. I also believe that a graveyard, if you're buried in a graveyard, you should have some kind of affiliation with that church. So you probably may be a member of the church or either a family member of someone that goes to the church. I don't think it's so stringent on a cemetery. Like a cemetery, if you die, you wish to be buried, then I would think that you can definitely be buried at a cemetery. So those are, to my opinion, the distinct between the two as well. So always remember, if it has a church to it, then you just say, hey, it's a graveyard. If it doesn't, say it's a cemetery. So those to me are the different distinctions. Now tell me what your opinions are. Do you know people that aren't affiliated with a church at all, don't have any relatives that are still buried in a graveyard? Because I definitely want to know. Because I'm assuming that if you are to be buried in a church ground, then you need to have at least been a member of the church or had a family member that was a member of the church. So that's all in my opinion. But that is going to end the video today. I just want to kind of break down this brief description between what a graveyard is and what a cemetery is. Also, remember, if you do love this video, definitely consider hitting that thumbs up button. Also, consider subscribing to my channel as well. For all things history, join in the heart of history.